I've got a small dental practice in St. Louis, Missouri. We've got 5 employees, did about 1.3 million last year. And my question is, I have 2 employees who are great at their roles, but they fight like cats and dogs. They're always at each other, and I'm wondering how to handle that. And if you can help me with that at all.
What are they fighting about?
Everything. So I feel like the crux of the issue is they're just 2 very different people.
No, different people can get along and respect each other.
Yeah. Okay, let me give you a little background on them, if that's okay.
Sure.
One is kind of a classic Southern belle. She has very strong ideals, very strong morals, and if you don't match up to those ideals, she can be a bit judgmental and kind of look down on you a bit. The other employee is very she's kind of rough around the edges. She's got 5 kids, single mom, crazy tattoos and makeup colors, and so if the 2 of them saw each other passing on the street, they wouldn't like each other, and there's just kind of an inherent distrust between them. They're both excellent at what they do, and I'm very happy with their performance in their roles, but they from day one have not liked each other and just do not get along.
Who's been there longer?
They started around the same time. One is like a couple months longer than the other, but they both have been with me around 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's a small office. We've only got 5 team members,
so
that's tough when 2 of them aren't getting along.
Okay. Yeah, it is tough. So how long have they been working there?
A couple years now.
So this has been going on for 2 years.
Yeah.
Have you attempted to address it before?
Yeah. I've had conversations one-on-one with each of them. I've had conversations with both of them. I've really tried to help them get along, and I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, well, how much is this my job to help these 2 adults?
Oh, it is your job.
Adults?
It is your job. You're the leader. Your job's to fire.
Well, exactly.
You got to fire them both if you can't get it straightened out.
Well, and that's what I was wondering is at what point do I say, okay, it's my job to develop the culture and help?
Exactly. It is your job.
Team.
Yeah, you have to. This has to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an option. Okay, it has to end, and I'm not going to put up with it. If I own the place, I'm not going to put up with it. So, you've been very careful to draw a line right down the middle of this without laying the blame on one or the other. And yet you have a sense that one of them is more of stirring it up than the other. You think the Southern Belle's stirring it up with passive-aggressive eye rolls.
It's both. Yeah,
but once she lays that into that old girl who's got some street time on her, streetwise, that old girl don't put up with it, and she comes back at her hard.
Yeah.
But I think the other one's starting it.
I think they both start it. Okay. I've seen them both. Yeah.
I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Right. I think the deal is this. Then at a minimum, we have to establish this. This ends now. Okay.
Okay.
I own this business, and in a place that I own, I don't want people treating each other this way.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So this is stopping. So I'm going to sit down with the 2 of them together and say, the next time that you guys go at each other like this, the one that starts it, I'm going to fire them. Zero tolerance from this point forward. I've talked to you about this, and you 2 are acting like a couple of high school girls, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And you're acting like a couple kids in a movie or something, and this ain't a movie. This is your life. You guys, I treat you with respect. You treat me with respect. You're going to treat each other with respect. You don't have to like each other. You don't have to go to dinner together, but you at least have to be kind and reasonable to each other and this constant bickering is done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. If I have to fire one of you or both of you, I will, and I will start again. I am not going to do this. Part of your job description is to be respectful to the other people that work here.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be, go out of your way. You don't have to do anything, but you cannot function this way. One of them will say, well, that's just the way I am.
Yeah.
Fire them when they say that.
Okay.
Now, you can pull them aside in a moment. You don't have to do it in front of the other one, but just go, what you're telling me when you say just the way I am is you're telling me you're not willing to abide by what I just said, and so our time is done. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Because it can't fix it if they don't want to fix it. It's just the way I am. I'll give you an example, okay? I had a guy who worked here years and years and years ago, and I really liked the guy. I think I was the only one. He was like the guy on Sesame Street, the Grouch, Oscar,
Yeah.
and he was super politically right-wing, like just to the right of Genghis Khan, right, politically, and he had to tell everybody about it, and he was real rough and gruff, and I kind of thought he was fun because I grew up with people like that. He didn't bother me a bit. He just real, like you said, kind of had a few miles on him on the street, and he's just like he's just gruff, he's a grouch, and the problem was though. That I end up with, the guy who's leading him comes into my office and he goes, hey, the last 3 people he has worked with cried.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was such a jerk, and 2 of them were women. You know what I mean? Come on. I mean, it's like this guy is a jerk, right?
Yeah.
And so I sat down with him. I said, look, dude, we can't do this anymore. Can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, well, it's, I've been here a long time, and these people just need to get over it. They need to have thick skin. And I'm like, no, they don't. You do.
Yeah.
Nobody's changing here but you. We all treat each other nice and reasonable, and we may not agree. We may not like each other. We may not like the way somebody votes. We may not agree about jokes or whatever, all that, whatever, but at least you need to be calm, kind, compassionate when you're dealing with the other people. Well, I don't think I can do that. And I said, well, then our time here's done.
Mm.
You're making the decision to fire yourself. I'm telling you the terms under which you get to stay.
Yeah.
I'd like you to stay because you and I get along. I like you. But I'm not going to have people in my building crying because of you.
Yeah.
That's not happening. They don't cry because of me, and they ain't crying because of you. And, so I'm pretty blunt, pretty direct and all that, but nobody in here is crying. They all know I love them, and they all know we're working together to get the job done. And he goes, well, some of them are just doing some stupid stuff. And I said, I don't disagree with that. I just disagree with how you handled it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
that
where
helps.
you are.
I mean,
You're going to have to sit down, and I think one of them is going to say, well, you just have to accept me the way I am. And, I can do that as a person, and we can still be friends, and I can accept you the way you are, but you can't work here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one of them's showing a lot more willingness to grow and change already, so.
Which one?
Yeah. The one who's a little more streetwise and a little rough around the edges. Yeah.
I go back to my original.
Yeah.
Mrs. Judgmental, passive-aggressive, eye roller is the I may be right. We'll find out, Scott, after this.
You might have hit it.
Stay tuned to the Scott scenario. The Scott, as the world turns, right? And so the soap opera. I got to tell you, man, at times in my building over the years, not lately, not in the last 2 decades even, but at times I would go home and tell my wife, I think I'm running a freaking beauty parlor. I mean, these people fight and gossip and carry on. I can't seem to get them to quit, And so I know the frustration you've got. I completely understand it. But my son says this all the time. He reminds me because I taught him this saying, and then he uses it on me. He goes, hey, we get in the building what we're willing to tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we're not willing to tolerate it, then we won't get it in the building anymore because it will leave the building because we won't tolerate it. And so you're getting this because you're tolerating it. And so you've got to clean it up. And here's the thing. When you do, the other 3 team members will breathe a sigh of relief too, because they're having to come to work and there's so much electricity in the air that their body tightens up, their shoulder blades tighten up before they walk in because they don't know when the next cat fight's going to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're having to work in this environment too. It's bothering you and you own it. Yeah. Think if you were trapped there as one of the other team members. So you are going to get super credibility from the team when you deal with this.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to sit them both down and go, you can either do it together or you can do it separate. I don't care. You've already tried it once, so I don't mind doing it together. Normally, I would at least try separately first. But you've already taken a few runs at this, so I'm going to sit down and say, ladies, you know, I've been thinking about this, and I'm just deeply distressed. I want a place where everybody likes to come to work and feels good and is comfortable. And your all's constant bickering and fighting, we've talked about it before. I've just reached the end of my rope on it, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I want to be very clear with you so that you don't have some kind of expectation. I'm really completely done with this. I considered firing you both today, but instead I decided I'm going to just give you a one last chance for both of you. If one of you starts this crap again, that is the last day you work here.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that direct. I'm sorry to be that blunt, but I'm just so frustrated with y'all. You're destroying the quality of all of our lives by going at each other all the time. And we're all tired of it. And so we're not going to do it anymore. God gave me this to run, and I have to be strong enough to run it. So I'm declaring today zero tolerance from this point forward. And does anyone have any questions or any comments? One of them may quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened to me before. Once you get that much up in their face and you're that clear, you don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to use cuss words. You don't have to be unkind. I'm not being unkind. I'm just being very, very, very clear.
Yeah, it's direct. Yeah.
And you know what? You might use the jump online with our EntreLeadership stuff and watch Brendan, our CTO's talk on uncomfortable conversations. And you might use that framework. He says to go into an uncomfortable conversation prepared. I'm doing it more off the cuff up to this point with you on the phone, okay? But he says go in completely prepared and sit down with them and say, all right, ladies, no one is losing their job today. This is going to be an uncomfortable conversation, and you make it really short, and you say, dude, does anyone have any questions? I want to be on your team. I want to be here, and I have failed you by allowing this to go on too long. I should have dealt with it immediately, and now I'm having to deal with it 2 years later. That's my fault, but nevertheless, it's still where we are, and we're still not going to do this anymore. And it's like, I swear to God, it's like having two teenagers, in the house, and they're trying to kill each other. It's the same stuff. It's crazy. So, but that happens. It happens with men, happens with women, happens in office settings, happens with blue-collar jobs on the job site. This stuff happens all the time. And leadership, if you're strong, you have to step in. And Scott, the lesson you will learn from this is the sooner you nip it in the bud, the easier it is to deal with and the higher the probability of success of dealing with it. This has gone on so long, for 2 years, that I'm pretty sure you're going to lose one of them. You may lose both of them. And I'm okay with that if I'm you, because I'm really not going to work in an environment like that ever again. That's a good question. And you're a good man. You're a kind guy. You've been putting up with this crap. And I used to do the same thing, and now I'm not as kind. Now I just get right to it. I'm kind, but I just don't have any patience for it anymore. I just get right to it.